Hi, my name is George Vodinakis and I have a project that you might be interested in. I just made this little wood chisel caddy for my wood lathe tools, and you can see it's a very portable design, only 12 inches by 4.5 inches wide with handles on the end. And what's really neat about it, it was easy to make, and all I used was MDF 3/4 inch, and it looks like about 1/4 inch, and PVC pipes of two different sizes. And what I like about it is before I was laying these all in a tub and reaching for them while the lathe was spinning and having difficulty finding what I needed. Now I can see all the points of the chisels very easily, can lift them up and put them back where they belong, and they're ready to go. So if this is something you might like to make for your shop and your wood lathe area, get ready, because I have some simple steps that's going to make that possible for you. I hope you enjoy this video. For your material needs, I would suggest MDF, but you can use any type of plywood. And here you can see I have a piece of MDF I purchased from Home Depot. It was 2 feet by 2 feet and 3/4 inch thick. And I had a scrap piece of 1/4 inch MDF with vinyl plastic on one side. The other thing you would need is PVC pipe. I suggest 1 3/8 diameter, inside diameter, for the larger tools, and if you want some for smaller tools, use the 1 inch diameter. Now remember, as you're cutting the base and sides, you can adjust according to the size of pipes that you're going to use. Here I used 2 of the larger ones and 1 of the smaller, so you can actually have 3 rows of the larger ones if that works for you. Just adjust accordingly. Next, I set up my table saw to cut 1 1/4 inch rips. This is the material I'll use for the base and the sides. Now you can see I take my 4 1/4 inch piece and run it next to the fence, setting the blade only halfway through on the cut. I'll have to move the fence once to make the gap larger, but I'll make this rip all the way through both sides of the wood. Now I can take that 2-foot length of wood that has slots ripped on both sides, and I can cut a 1-foot base and use the remaining foot to cut the desired end pieces. Take a look at this setup. I am just using here as a demonstration a small piece of scrap left over, but I cut a 45-inch cut into the top of each PVC pipe, and the pipes can be any length you desire. The 45 looks attractive to me, and when I set this up, I had 2 clamps on the pipe to prevent it from spinning as I sent it through the 45-degree cut. This is one possible way you can do this. It can probably be done easily on a miter saw. This is a great job for a nail gun, but if you don't have one, you can just use small finishing nails. I glued on both sides and put 1, 2, 3 finishing nails into both ends of this handy little caddy. My next step was to put the 1/4 inch piece down into the slot, fitting both into the base and the sides with glue, and clamping at both ends to hold it tight. But remember, only put the back 1/4 inch piece in. When you're done with that and you have your backside and your base, your sides onto the base, you can go ahead and put your pipes in. I didn't like the black printing on the side of the PVC, so I used a little bit of steel wool with acetone and just wiped it off to make them all white. You can also paint them if you'd like to with some vinyl paint. When you assemble them into the caddy itself, what I did is I used some hot glue, and I took the hot glue and put a little bead around the base, put it down, and then I put the next one in, and down below the area where the wood is, I put a bead of hot glue on all sides, and that kind of locked them together. They're almost like a big brick now of solid tubes. When that is done, you can go ahead and slide in that last quarter piece with glue it in place. And if you'd like to, you can either make a wooden handle, or I just purchased these inexpensive handles from a hardware store, and they work real well for lifting it. I hope this gives you some ideas, and let me know if it works for you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.